travel this holiday weekend. Bigger than normal?
Yeah, travel is off with a boom for the 4th of July holiday. We're seeing a record number of people traveling, so we are back surpassing the travel volumes we saw before the pandemic. And the numbers are pretty staggering. We're looking nationwide at 51 million Americans traveling over the 4th of July, and that includes 587,000 Oregonians taking a trip.
What surprises me about that is that 4th of July is on a Tuesday. It's not a Monday, it's not a Saturday or Sunday or a Friday. It's almost midweek.
Yeah. And I think that's one reason why we're seeing the elevated volumes, because people are making a multi-day holiday out of it. Instead of just looking at it as being a Tuesday, they're saying, hey, let's go on Thursday or Friday before the holiday and come back on Wednesday or Thursday after the holiday.
More people driving than flying, obviously,
Yeah.
cost-wise. Gas prices playing a factor in that, even though they're down?
You know, we always see the greatest number of people go by car, and it makes sense because car travel is often cheaper than taking the whole family on a flight, and it's more predictable. You have more control over your trip. It can be more comfortable. It's easy to make changes along the way if you need to make last-minute changes to your itinerary. So all of that flexibility is why most people tend to go by car. Car travel right now, the share of people going by car is actually down a little bit. Often we'll see 90% of people going by car. This year we're seeing about 85% of travelers going by car and about 8% going by air. And so both modes of travel are setting records with the number of people who are going.
That surprises me, but doesn't surprise me because of how high gas prices are. We're still in the $4 range.
Yeah.
In Oregon. But gas prices, year over year, were down.
Yeah, gas prices are significantly less than a year ago. We're looking at roughly about $1 a gallon cheaper than a year ago. We were well over $5 a gallon last year for 4th of July. We were around $5.55 a gallon. This year we're around $4.65 a gallon here in Oregon. So that's a significant savings. So yeah, gas prices are more expensive than they were a few weeks ago, but still a lot cheaper than 4th of July 2022.
Do you know where 4th of July ranks as far as like holiday travel? Is it Memorial first, Christmas first, type thing?
You know, Thanksgiving tends to be the #1 holiday because that tends to get people across the board traveling. And, it's a real family-oriented holiday, so people tend to want to be home, at mom and dad's or grandma and grandpa's for Thanksgiving. So we tend to see the greatest volume for Thanksgiving, but 4th of July is usually second. And that's certainly the case this year.
Wow. Why? Is it just summer? It's not the kickoff, but is it summer travel?
With Memorial Day, we saw a very robust travel period, but it was still just behind 2019, pre-pandemic. With the 4th of July, we are seeing travel volumes that are above what we saw in 2019. So I think people got their feet wet a little bit for Memorial Day, and now they're saying, yeah, we're ready to go hit the road and take that flight for the 4th of July holiday.
Record travel means, obviously, business, so you got to see the business side of things. This is helping.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And it's really interesting because we ask people in our survey, we not only get at the numbers but the why behind the numbers, and we ask people, why are you traveling for the 4th of July? And there are a couple big reasons. First of all, we're still seeing that pent-up demand after the pandemic. We did see travel return last year, but it still lagged behind 2019. And you'll recall last summer we still had COVID outbreaks that were pretty common. This year COVID is pretty much behind us, and people are feeling good about their personal economic situations. They have disposable income and they're ready to spend it on things like travel. And we found that interesting because there's a lot of talk about won't there be a recession, what's the economy doing, but people are saying, you know what, I have some available money right now, I want to spend it, I want to go out and travel because I didn't do a whole lot of travel the last few years and I want to start getting out there again.
So this is going to air tomorrow morning.
Okay.
When it does, that's Thursday.
Yeah.
Are we still behind the peak travel, exodus?
Yeah, Thursday, today is one of the busiest travel days. So today and tomorrow, in the afternoons, especially if you're going by car, those will be some of the crunch times because we'll not only have holiday travelers, but we'll have those afternoon commuters as well. So if you are traveling on today or tomorrow, if you can avoid those afternoon hours, that's great. And then for flying, we think that tomorrow and Saturday will be the busiest days at airports. But no matter when you go, we are expecting record volume. So it's going to be busy even if you avoid those crunch times. So if you're driving, count on it taking it longer to get to your destination than usual. And in fact, AAA teamed up with INRIX. We looked at all the routes along the way, and it can take you sometimes as much as 2 or 3 times as long to get to your destination, especially if you're traveling through an urban area. So count on delays, count on lots of company, no matter how you're traveling.
Coming back, do you think the biggest day is Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday will be the biggest return day. And most people will head home after the 4th of July, but Wednesday and Thursday after the holiday will be busy return days.
Anything I'm missing?
I think you got it. I think one thing, of course, if you are driving, make sure that you're ready for that road trip. So make sure you've got that emergency kit in your car. AAA expects to rescue 8,000 people here in Oregon over the 4th of July holiday travel period, and the big issues are dead batteries, flat tires, and lockouts.